What's up, y'all? Comic Book Sports here, the place where you can get news and information on sports and comic books. I got this idea from one of my favorite YouTubers, Johnny Arnett. His channel is dedicated to give insight on NBA history, basketball what-ifs, and just NBA-related content. He made a video on the things he would tell his future children about the NBA he grew up in. That inspired me to do one. I am passionate about comics, and I'm passionate about combat sports. There is a good chance if I ever have kids one day, they will definitely be into superheroes, as every kid is, and they better love Spider-Man or they're grounded for life. And my kids will also learn how to box and learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as that's mandatory for self-defense. I will make a video for comics, and I'll make one for combat sports. This video will be dedicated to comics first. So I want to give you guys the things that I would tell my children about the superhero world that I grew up in. Number 1. Avengers Endgame was a huge deal. The MCU started in 2008 with Iron Man 1, and that changed the entire landscape of the film industry as we know it. Prior to the MCU, no other movie had a connected universe or even post-credit scenes. Avengers Endgame was an 11-year build-up to a grand finale of everything Marvel Studios put out, a plan that was built in 11 years. Watching on DVD, well, by the time I have kids, DVD will probably be dead, so watching on digital, that's cool, but to actually live through the entire start of the MCU was incredible. Watching Avengers Endgame, every theater was sold out. It was literally the most anticipated movie of all time, and watching it in theaters was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We laughed, we cheered, we got emotional, we cried. It was a roller coaster ride that will probably be never replicated. Number 2. The Avengers weren't popular when I was a kid. Today you see many kids wearing Avengers merchandise. I will always see a kid with Iron Man merch or Captain America merch. When people talk about sending their best, they always refer to the Avengers. Even after Team USA lost in FIBA, people jokingly said LeBron and them are the Avengers. The Avengers are extremely popular and produced the biggest movie of all time, but growing up, that was not the case. Growing up in the 90s and 2000s, the most popular heroes were Superman, Batman, Justice League, Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Hulk, and Daredevil. Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America were C-level characters. Nobody gave a damn about them. Hell, Guardians of the Galaxy, many people never heard of them prior to the movie. There is a reason when Marvel sold their properties, they sold Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk, and Fantastic Four. It's because those were the most popular heroes. It wasn't until Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Iron Man and the rise of the MCU propelled the Avengers into mainstream stardom. Number 3. Spider-Man joins the MCU. So back in the day when Marvel was about to go bankrupt, Marvel sold Spider-Man to Sony. Sony ended up giving us 5 live-action Spider-Man movies and some other stuff. After the last non-MCU Spider-Man movie that came out in 2014, fans wanted to see Spider-Man in the MCU. Our dreams came true as Disney and Sony worked on a special deal that allowed Spider-Man to come to the MCU. What we thought was impossible became a reality, and it was a huge moment for us Marvel fans. Then bad news hit in 2019 that Spider-Man will be leaving the MCU. The news was so big it was posted on CNN. Many fans were pissed. I even jokingly said that I'm going to throw away my PS4. Eventually a deal was done and Spider-Man was back in the MCU, but it caused a lot of angry fans and people were ready to risk it all over the web slinger. Number 4. Disney purchased Fox. Like Spider-Man, Marvel sold their properties to Fox. They sold the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool. They ended up making their own movies alongside the MCU. Fans wanted to see the X-Men crossover with the Avengers. That wasn't possible due to different studios owning the properties. But that changed when in 2019, Disney, being the powerhouse they are, officially bought out Fox Studios, which meant that all of those properties now belong to Disney. This was a monumental move and the future was bright for Marvel. Once again, our fantasies will become a reality. Number 5. Saturday morning cartoons. In today's society, we can watch anything we want at any time with just a few clicks away on a device. But when I was growing up, you had to wake up on Saturdays to watch cartoons. It was a major event waking up on Saturday to watch cartoons. and not just Saturday mornings, after schools and evenings. Static Shock, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Superman, Batman, X-Men, X-Men Evolution, Spider-Man. You just had to be there. It was an event that just couldn't be missed. There wasn't any streaming, and recording on a VCR was a thing, but not that commonly used. Number 6, Iron Man was not the first Marvel movie. Even though my child will be born many years before he or she can process the year 2008, it's well documented that Iron Man 1 came out in 2008, which kickstarted the MCU. However, Iron Man 1 is the first MCU movie, not the first Marvel movie. The first Marvel movie is actually a Captain America movie, which came out in 1944, and then there's Howard the Duck, which came out in 1986. I wasn't around during both of those, but Blade is the more modern Marvel movie that came out in 1998, starring Wesley Snipes, and that is what is credited to kickstart the Marvel movies. When Blade came out, that opened the door for Marvel superhero movies to stamp their marks, such as X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, Daredevil, and Fantastic Four, which sucked, by the way. Number 7, Ben Affleck becomes Batman. In 2005, we were blessed with Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale. This produced 3 movies, which are considered one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. In 2013, DC wanted to create their own cinematic universe similar to Marvel, and it started with Man of Steel. Many fans wanted Christian Bale to reprise his role as Batman, but the studios wanted to have a different version of Batman, as Christian Bale's Batman is more grounded and wouldn't fit into the world of superheroes and metahumans. They casted Ben Affleck as Batman. People were pissed. Nobody was happy. Affleck even got death threats. Ben Affleck's portrayal of Daredevil in 2003 didn't sit well with fans, so people weren't happy. But also, Chris Evans played the Human Torch and was given a second chance and crushed it as Captain America. Ryan Reynolds flopped as Green Lantern, but crushed it as Deadpool. And Michael B. Jordan and the entire Fantastic Four movie flopped, but he crushed it as Killmonger. So it's only right that people give Affleck a chance. Batman vs. Superman ended up being a pretty terrible movie, with the Justice League being even worse. I thought Affleck's portrayal as Batman was good, but he was just given a bad movie. Either way, it caused a lot of rift in the DCEU. And number 8, Spider-Man and Batman's dominance. In the 90s, Spider-Man and Batman both had very popular cartoons. In 2002, we got to witness the beginning of 3 Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogies, multiple games that tied into the movies, then a reboot, more games, Spider-Man's introduction to the MCU, a brand new Spider-Man character named Miles Morales, an amazing animated movie based on Miles Morales, Spider-Man's villains getting their own movie, and recently, the new video game, which is one of the best superhero games of all time. The biggest Spider-Man moment for me was when all 3 Spider-Men had a huge crossover. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I'd see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all together in a Spider-Man movie. Batman, I got to witness him dominate the animation for so long. Him and Superman show, his own show, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, Justice League, and multiple cartoons of him. In 2005, we got to see the beginning of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, which I said is one of the best superhero movies of all time. Batman has been in multiple games, and even Arkham Knight is considered one of the best superhero games of all time. His animated movies are some of the best superhero animation movies of all time. We got to see him in live action go up against Superman and the Justice League, and DC reviving another Batman movie, and recently in the Flash movie, Michael Keaton returned as Batman. Even though this is before my time, I'll tell my kids about Adam West's Batman from the 60s. I used to wake up every morning before school to watch it on TV. So there you have it. Things I would tell my kids about the superheroes I grew up with. Tell me some of the memorable things that you grew up with. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at _Uncle Money. And I'll see you next time.